Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't read the title, today I'm going to show you how to change ball joints and wheel bearings. Today's victim is a 2005 Yamaha 350 four-wheel drive Bruin, the automatic transmission. The ball joints and wheel bearings in question are right here. If you notice, it's also missing a disc brake. I'm changing that too, but you can see the play right there. That's the wheel bearings. You look at the ball joint, see the play there. Okay, so now we have a problem here. First thing you need to do before anything else is take these parts and go put them in the deep freezer. Specifically the ball joints and the wheel bearings. The seals don't need to go there, and the little keepers don't need to go there. But what happens is these are pressed in parts. They're fit in under tension. Most of us don't have a press. I don't have a press. The closest thing I got is a bench vise. I'm going to be using a hammer, the redneck way. People don't agree with it. If you don't agree with the hammer method, you can leave now. Bye. Go away. I don't want to hear it. If you want to see how to do it the practical way that anybody can do, congratulations, you made the cut. Alright, put those in the freezer. Now, do understand it happens to be 82 degrees Fahrenheit here, where I live, in Louisiana. That's like, I don't know, like 50 degrees Celsius or something. Sorry, I'm American, I don't know. Now, I understand if you live somewhere cold, say if it's, freezing and snowing outside, the better thing to do would be, once you disassemble everything, would be to heat this piece that the ball joint goes through to put the ball joint in, because the ball joint's going to be room temperature. You can't get colder than, freezing. Not easily. I would heat the piece that it goes through if you were in a cold environment. Same thing with the hub where the wheel bearing passes through. Now, if you haven't already, safely lift and jack up your four-wheeler. Not going to be under it, so I'm not going to worry about a jack stand. Plus, they're kind of already in use. This specifically happens to be 17mm wheel nuts. This is most Yamahas and Hondas are 17mm. Depending on your brand, they may change. I think it's Suzuki has 17mm on most of them. We're going to get started. All the parts I'm going to be removing, I'm going to look for cotter pins, which it looks like there are none on this. You remove the cotter pin from here, tie rod, both ball joints. I'm going to remove the brake caliper. The hub just pops off once you loosen that. Take a rubber hammer, beat that through. I'm going to show you all in real time, but just giving you an overview. So, no more talky, more worky. Okay, you can see, I can see, we can all see. Sorry you're mounted on a battery right now, but my tripod got borrowed by somebody I don't know who, and I don't think they're going to return it. So, excuse the shaking of the floor, because this is a wood building and mostly termites. So maybe I can do it this way. Yeah, that might do. If anything, it's going to pop and pop me right in the kneecap or something. That'll be nice. Oh, that might work. Make sure we're on that tight. Boy. Goes. That's what you call tighter than it should be. I actually popped the lug nut out of its little grommet there. So, that can go there. That's good enough for that. Finish popping this off. I'm going to pop that almost all the way. We'll leave a little gap there, because you got to get the axle out of the hub, and a lot of times they stick. Now this, I will be specific, because I'm saving the axle. Rubber mallet, because you don't want to damage the threads or the end of this thing. Couple good whacks ought to get it loose. see if she popped loose. Yep, look at that. One hub right off. These happen to be 10mm right here. They shouldn't be too bad. They're iron into cast iron. Right here there should be a little thing holding the brake line in place. It should be a 10mm. It's missing off of this side. There's one back here though. Alright, let's find some sizes here. That's one. We'll need a breaker bar. Two. Oh, that one came loose. And three. Alright, tie rod's still tight. I don't want to damage my gear wrench, so I'm going to grab a proper one to pop that loose with. If you come across the case to where the ball joint spins with the nut, you're going to need a special tool called pickle fork. You ask, what's a pickle fork? I'll show you. This is a pickle fork. Can you see it? See how it's angled shape, kind of like a wedge? If you were going to be removing these parts with a pickle fork, you press the flat side toward the piece you want to protect, the angled side toward the piece you're removing. And you simply bash it in there with a hammer. On something like this, you shouldn't need one. Remember a simple rule, hit what it goes through. So we got the tie rod here, it's loose, but it's not coming out. So it gets you a good whack on that. Comes right out. Same with up here at the ball joint. Pops right out. Got one more ball joint. This one will be a little more challenging. I have gotten the axle to come free. We're just going to fight it a little bit. Get her out of there. She's good. There we go. Come on. Axle's free. Flop it off to wherever you want. I'm going to be hitting on the front side, so I'm going to flop it to the back. Get bungee strap, lift that up, and a whack right here on this edge with a metal hammer. There it goes. Make sure it don't pop you in the face. Alright. This is your hub. Got one ball joint in it. Ugly. Throw that off to the side. We still got to get this part out. This is your other ball joint. Disconnect this bolt through the shock and the two bolts right here. Got some wiring and some cable right here to fight. That's two. There's your arm, another ball joint. Alright, y'all can see right here, these two little dots. This is a snap ring that holds, doesn't hold the ball joint in, but helps. Gotta take that off before you start with anything. Go for the bigger hammer first. Now remember, this is without a press. You have a problem with the hammer method, go find another video. If you want to see how to do it cheap and easy, this is how. Ball joint out. Still got to pound out the wheel bearings. Fine. That's probably the worst part. This specific model, the wheel bearings are separated by a collar in the center. So they don't just press out all in one go. Hey, that one went nice. They press out one that way, one this way, and there's a thing in the middle. So you have to press with the driver between the bearing races and push them out. It takes forever and it's terrible. Now, I'm going to put this thing in here. like so, because we're going to drive out this ball joint. Same thing as last time. Make that nice and tight, and hit that with this. Maybe not, I don't know. What I'm gonna do, try and get y'all to see what I'm looking at here. Maybe you can see it, can't tell. Yeah, see how there's a shiny, a rusty, and then a shiny? Basically, I'm aiming in here. I have the sharp point on here. I'm aiming right in between the rusty and then the last bearing. You can kind of see the shiny bit, like the little white dot showing. That's where I'm aiming with that. A little bit. A little bit. You just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you can get the chisel down in there and plop it out. Just like that. There it goes. That is how you remove the bearings. Alright, back. Here's the wheel bearing. Came out of deep freezer. Deep freezer set at about -10 degrees Fahrenheit. See how it's already starting to grow ice? And we're going to gently tap it. Get it lined up with its bore. Cryogenic. Alright, I've got this thing mostly deburred. Goes in its little house. Set that just right there. So it sits in there on that ledge. I'm gonna go get the other wheel bearing real quick. These happen to be double sealed, so if you see seal, seal. Doesn't matter which way it goes in. The ones I took out were single sealed. Here's what I meant about single sealed. See how it's open on this side, closed on that side? You want to put, if you have these kind of bearings, you want to put the sealed side to the outside, or else these things will get ruined quick. These two seals are different. This one has a little short lip. This one has a big lip. If you have a four-wheel drive bike or two-wheel drive independent rear suspension, this is the side that goes toward the CV shaft. So you think of your axle shaft there. This is the side that rubs up against that axle shaft. This side goes against the hub this way. So think of it. Wheel and hub this side, axle shaft this side. I'm going to do the cheat with this. I'm going to grab one of the old bearings. They happen to be the exact same size as the seals. You just go around gently. Just like that. We'll use this bearing, but I'm going to use the unsealed side so it doesn't damage the rubber. Same thing. There it is. Just like that. Wheel bearings installed. Alright, real quick. Notice this thing's already full of ice. Remember which way it goes on there. Some four-wheelers, the ball joints are different sizes on the top and the bottom. This one, they happen to be the same. So we're looking at the hub from this side. This is the tie rod top, bottom. Bottom ball joint, as you can see, has the big hole. And it goes down into the A-frame. Top ball joint, the ball joint's in the A-frame, and goes into here. I'm going to press it in this way. Word of wisdom, remove this rubber boot as you're doing so you don't damage it. Just like that. Pop that off. Get you a socket. That happens to be the same one that I pressed the wheel bearings in. Press this in. Same thing. Just keep going until it's in. All the way seated, and the gap right here, see this little crack? That's where that little clip fits in. Alright, put a wee little grease on this and inside of here, just to make things happy. Give these seals a little protection. New rebuilt hub assembly. Knock all the schmoo off. Feed that in there a wee bit. Line up that lower ball joint and get it to go in. There it is. Got those on there, and then we'll snug them up. Every time. That'd be this guy, right here. A little wobble wobble, shaky shake. All the line up and go on there. Should. You need a little negotiating from a hammer. We'll take our axle nut and help draw that on there.